Hi everyone, my name is Nitish
My name is Suraj.
and we're here to forecast short-term interest rates analyzing the yield curve movements from the week October 27th to October 31st. During the period of the week from October 27th to October 31st, the pattern of the yield curve was that there was overall rise in the yield curves, but then there was major flattening at the longer periods. This means that the difference between the interest rates in short-term treasuries and long-term treasuries have declined during the period of the week. The reason for this was because of the reason that the short-term rates were rising at a faster pace than the longer-term rates. There were three main reasons causing this pattern in the yield curve. The first reason was due to the decline in oil prices. This caused the softening of the inflation expectations. The second reason was the decision made by federal policy to end its quantitative easing policy. This caused the yields across the board to rise. The third reason was the decision made by Bank of Japan to increase its money supply by increasing its bond buying policy. This caused the US treasuries to be more attractive. The pattern over the period of the week can be better analyzed by looking at this graph. The blue line over here shows the yield curve on Monday, and the green line here shows the yield curve on Friday. As we can see from this graph, the yields have risen all across the board compared to Friday from Monday. We can also notice that the short-term rates have been rising at a faster pace than the long-term rates. The 5-year rate during the period of the week from Monday to Friday rose by 11 basis points, while during the same period of time the 30-year rates went up only by 2 basis points. This pattern in our yield curves caused major fluctuations in our interest rates forecast. The blue line here shows our interest rates forecast on Monday, and the green line here shows our interest rate forecast on Friday. We can see that there are fluctuations all across the board. The fluctuations in our interest rate forecast can be attributed to the uncertainties circling around the market. We can notice that our 1-year rate 4 years from now has gone by 13 basis points, while our 1-year rates 29 years from now has actually gone down by 9 basis points. Now I'd like to pass on to my friend to talk more about this topic.
Thank you, Nitish. I'm going to talk more in detail about the different events and how they affected overall on the yield curve. The first event, decline in the oil price. The decline in the oil price causes the softening in the inflation expectations, and as we know that the long-term rates are directly affected by the inflations, this causes the investors to be more attracted towards the longer-term bonds or longer-term treasuries and sell the short-term treasuries. Furthermore, the meeting that was conducted by the Federal Reserve on Wednesday, they decided to end the quantitative easing policy on quantitative easing policy. They said that the quantitative easing policy, which has been implemented after the recession of 2008, is no longer in use since the economy has improved quite a bit after that period. Furthermore, the Federal Reserve said that the interest rate will be kept low for a reasonable period of time, but the investors expected the short-term rate to go higher than what the Federal Reserve said. As you can see here, the short-term rate in the yield curve has risen from Tuesday to Wednesday by quite a bit. The other event that happened throughout the week was Bank of Japan's money supply policy. The Bank of Japan decided to increase its money supply by buying the bonds from the market, and the decision came into effect because of Japan's flattering economy. So what does this policy does to the US economy? Since the yield in the Japan will be lower. This will attract the Japanese investors to opt out from Japan and come into the US market and invest in the US treasuries. So to conclude, what does the overall trend means? The overall trend suggests us that our economy has the problem. The banking sector will be affected significantly because of the rising interest rate and flattening over the period of time. And if this movement keeps persistent for a longer period of time, this will cause the yield curve to invert, and this suggests us that our economy might go into recession.
Thank you.
you.